Good morning everybody. So today I will demonstrate the determination of spring constant for the material of the given spring. So we are calculating the spring constant when the springs are connected in series combination and they are connected in parallel combination. To perform this experiment, so we require a spring. So we are considering the two springs, so spring 1 and spring 2. Because we require to analyze for series and parallel combination. So we know that this spring is an elastic material. So elastic materials are those even after applying this deforming force, it will go for elongation. Once we remove this one, so it will regain its original dimension. So these are called as elastic materials. So we know that, so for this spring, if we apply a load across the free end, so it is nothing but the restoring force which is said to be acting onto the material. Hence, because of this applied force onto the material, the elongation of the material will takes place. The stretching of the material will takes place. Hence, the restoring force which is said to be acting in one direction and the displacement is said to be acting in the another direction. They are said to be opposite in its nature. So we are mentioning that the restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement, but they are acting in the opposite direction, hence the negative sign. Therefore, F is equal to minus K into X. So we are considering this proportionality constant by the terminology called spring constant, say K. So F is equal to minus K into delta X, where delta X stands for the total displacement produced for a given load. So now with respect to this, we have to calculate the spring constant, the equivalent spring constant when they are in series combination and when they are in parallel combination. So the formula is given. So generally for a given spring, if you are finding individually, then K will be equal to minus F divided by delta X. So minus we are not considering, we are just considering with only the magnitude. So K will be equal to F by delta X. So when they are in series combination, K will be equal to K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. Then they are in parallel, K parallel will be equal to K1 plus K2. So now using these formulas, we have to analyze finding the spring constant for a given spring. So now first I will show the apparatus. So now we have to determine the spring constant for a given spring, so we have a apparatus like this. So we have a stand. So we have a stand here. So for this we have given the check nuts. The two check nuts we have connected and they have given the measuring scale so that you can move however we want. So they have given one screw here. So using this screw, so we can move this up and down. So we can fix the scale. So now I will explain for one individual spring how to find the spring constant. Then later on we can pass on to the combination of springs. So now let us consider the spring 1. Let us say the spring 1, so which is said to be attached to the check nut. So now let us consider the weight anchor to apply the load. So say need not to measure what is the weight of this weight anchor. You just hang this hanger to the free end of the spring. So now they have given the needle here. So you just observe. So you just move the scale provided for this applied load, say dead load, weight of the weight anchor that we are not measuring. So this is the initial value so that we can consider this as dead load. For this dead load, you adjust the displacement, whatever we are getting, to 0. So that we can make our calculation bit easier if you are adjusting for 0. Even if you have taken some other value, so you should go for difference in finding the total displacement produced for the considered load. So at the initial level, you just adjust for 0. So now for this, you can make use of scale or you can adjust this needle to analyze the reference point. So now for dead load, I adjusted this displacement as 0. So you just observe the tabular column. just observe the tabular column. Determination of spring constant. Determination of spring constant for spring 1. So they have given a tabular column and they have mentioned the displacement. The displacement for the dead load W plus 0. So now what we have attached for the check nut, that is W plus 0, that is for the spring. So the displacement A will be equal to now 0 centimeter you have to mention because we adjusted for 0. Now we'll add again the load in steps of 50 grams. So now you have to convert that to kg. So here we have mentioned like W plus 50. W refers to weight of the weight anchor that we are not measuring. So for that we are adding 50 grams. Again 100, then 150, then 200. For all these 4 trials, consider what is the displacement that you measure from the instrument. So we'll keep on add 50 grams. So now hold the base of the weight anchor, you just add 50 grams. You just find the bulged position, there you just add the load, then slowly you just drop it. So then it should not vibrate. So now there is an extension, that extension you have to measure. So for that so now if you have a scale at this position, the common position, you just measure what is the extension produced. So now for W plus 50 I am getting 3.3. So now you just note down the corresponding value. The displacement B for a load of W plus 50, that is 3.3, it's in centimeter. Similarly, you just add another load, again adding 50 grams. So now it will be W plus 50, so W plus 100. Now measure what is the displacement. So now the displacement is said to be 6.3. See, it should not vibrate, it should be at rest. So now 6.3. Similarly for 150. Again elongation is there. Once we keep on add the load, the displacement is directly proportional to the restoring force. Hence will get increasing the value of displacement. Now I am getting 8.8. So you just keep on record the value for all the loads. So 50, 100, 150 and 200. So then measure what is the elongation produced. So that is delta x. So delta x will be equal to B minus A. What is B? The displacement produced for the applied load 50, 100, 150 and 200. So you just go with the individual trial. So for 50 grams, so 3.3 is the value of B, minus A is 0. So you can write directly, so 3.3, so that we can reduce our calculation if you make the initial value as 0. So next for 100 grams it will be like 6.3. So likewise you have to calculate for each and every trial. What is the total elongation? Delta x. Then find the spring constant using the formula. So K is equal to F by delta x. So minus we are not considering because we are going with only the magnitude. So now K will be equal to, say, K1 because this is for spring 1. Spring 1, K1 will be equal to F by delta x. So what is F? M into G into divided by delta x. What is the M? Applied load 50 grams. Convert that to kg. 50 into 10 power minus 3 into 9.8 divided by 3.3 into 10 power minus 2 centimeter. Meter. Centimeter to meter we converting. So now K1 will be equal to, calculate this term. So 50 into 9.8 divided by 3.3. So we'll get the answer. So 148.48. So now simplify the powers. 10 power minus 3 divided by 10 power minus 2, it will be 10 power minus 1. Then K1 will be equal to 14.8 Newton per meter. Because force is in Newton, delta X is in meter, so Newton per meter. So similarly, you should do the calculation for all the trials. Since you are using the same material, so what you are calculating the K1 value, K1 for all these 4 trials. K1 for all these 4 trials, that should be same. It should be same. So you should get the answer around some 14 to 15. Then your answer will be correct. So now the way we have done in finding the spring constant for a given spring, that is the spring 1. Similarly, you do it for spring 2. So repeat the experiment by changing the spring. So now you just remove the weight anchor. First you remove the load. Now consider the spring 2. So now this is spring 2. Again you just add this dead load WO plus 0, weight of the weight anchor. So now adjust for 0. So you have to measure with only one common point, the reference point. From that point only you have to measure. So now this is the reference point. So this will be the reference point throughout my experiment in finding the spring constant. So now measure. So now this is showing 0. So now you just mark for spring 2 displacement for the dead load WO plus 0 as A will be equal to now 0. So again repeat the experiment by adding the load, say 50 grams. So now you just observe the elongation produced by the spring with the application of 50 grams. Now measure what is the displacement, what is the elongation. So now this is 4 centimeter, exactly 4 centimeter. So now you just mention that 4 centimeter in the tabular column. Similarly, you just add again 50 grams, so it will be 100. Again the stretching is keep on increasing with the application of the load. So now the restoring force is offering towards the spring and displacement will be in the opposite direction. Now again 50 grams, so 150 grams, so stretching is increased again. So you just measure the value and note down the corresponding elongation value. Now we are getting 10, so meaning it keep on increasing. So you just continue even up to 200. So once you finish that, you just go with the calculation. Similarly, what we have done in the case of K1, you do it for K2 also. Then we'll pass. Now we know the value of K1, and we know the value of K2. So since we are using the same values, same spring, so we'll get almost the same value of K1 and K2. So find out Ks theoretically and find the Kp value theoretically. So we have a formula in finding the Ks and Kp value which is given in the manual also. So Ks will be equal to K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. So now using this K1 and K2 value, find the value of K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. Similarly, Kp will be equal to K1 plus K2. So we'll get some value here and even we'll get some value here. So this is theoretically find data. So now we have to find out the Ks value and the Kp value experimentally. So we have to find out experimentally. So to find this experimentally, the procedure is same, but we have to consider both the springs, so which is said to be in series combination and which is said to be in parallel combination. So for that thing we have given the tabular column, determination of spring constant in series combination. See here the applied load is also same and you have to find out the displacement, then find the spring constant. Because it's a combination of spring, then we have to mention it's a Ks. So Ks series value, equivalent spring constant. So now let us consider both the springs, spring 1 and spring 2. So you just remove this weight anchor what we have done for spring 2. So now one spring is already attached. Now for another free end, you just add another spring. Now this is end-to-end connection, series combination. So for this one you just add the dead load, that is weight of the weight anchor. Now adjust for the reference now. So if it is possible to adjust for 0, you can adjust for 0. Otherwise, whatever the value we are getting, so that we can measure. See, now it is not possible for this instrument to adjust for 0. Now with this reference point, whatever we are getting the value of A, that we can record. So now we are getting 9.2 centimeter. So we are getting 9.2 centimeter. So we'll record the value. Displacement for the dead load W plus 0 is 9.2 centimeters. Now this is the initial value. We can make use of it. So now the next is by adding another load, say 50 grams. So now after adding the 50 grams, there is an elongation. So we'll measure what is that. So for the series combination, for 50 grams, we are getting 17 centimeter. So now we'll record the value for W plus 50, 17 centimeter. So centimeter is already there. So you just mention 17. So we'll add another. So like that you have to continue for up to 200. I'll just show for another trial, that is for W plus 100. So now the displacement produced is 23.1. So we'll mark that value 23.1 centimeter. So similarly you just add another 50 grams, so it will be W plus 150. Again if you add 50 grams, so it will be W plus 200. Just I'll show for two trials. So now the first trial we have taken as 70, and here we have to find out elongation. The total elongation delta x will be equal to B minus A. So now 17 minus 9.2. So 17 minus 9.2 if you do, then you will get the total elongation for a mass 50 grams. So now this is 9.2. 17 minus 9.2. So it is 7.8. 7.8. So now next point is 23.1 minus 9.2. So it will be 13.9. So meaning, so you just observe these two trials. Elongation is increasing as the load is keep on increasing. Then find the spring constant. What is the formula? So K will be equal to F by delta X. What is F for 50 grams? That you can find out. Then delta X you have 7.8. Substitute that. Then simplify this value. So Ks you will get some value here. Similarly, if you do for second trial, so Ks should be similar to this value. So you should get all these four values should be consistent. So this is the methodology. So we should follow in finding the spring constant, equivalent spring constant for a series combination. So we should go for the next combination is the parallel combination. Determination of equivalent spring constant when the springs they kept in the parallel combination. So now we'll just remove the series combination. First remove the weight anchor, then take the spring. So you just connect these two springs face to face by using the another check nut. Then there is another connector. So you just attach these two to apply the load across the combination of springs. So now they are said to be parallel in its nature. So first you apply the dead load, that is the weight of the weight anchor. So what we have followed in finding the spring constant individually as well as for the series combination, the same steps we have to follow, and we have considered this position as the reference. So now also we have to consider the same position as the reference in finding the elongation. So now you just try to adjust for 0. We can adjust for this parallel combination for 0 reference for dead load. So you just cross check that by using the scale from that reference point. So now this is exactly at 0. It is at 0. So now you just mark it onto the tabular column for parallel combination. Displacement for the dead load W plus 0 will be 0. Now you continue with the same steps. Add the load, apply the stress. So now we are adding a force. So due to this there is an elongation. So now you just measure what is that elongation. Now for this W plus 50, so we are getting 1.5. So 1.5 centimeter. So you just continue with the same order for the next trial. So W plus 100. then measure what is the displacement. So now for WR plus 100 we are getting 3.5. So you just mark that 3.5. Now using this value, find the elongation. Delta x will be equal to b minus a. Since a is 0, we can write as it is 1.5, 3.5. So clear. Then find Kp value by using the formula F by delta x. So if you continue like this, then for other 2 trials, then whatever you are finding the Kp value for all 4 trials, that should be same. So here we have in one example. So what we have done already, see here, the spring constant, what we have done for spring 1. So we got the readings like 18.8, 18.3 like this. Then it's almost like consistent. Similarly for K2, we have some values. So what we have found, and when they are in series combination, so we got like 7.1 Newton per meter, and when they are in parallel combination, we got around some 26. So like this we have to calculate for the spring constant individually as well as when they are in combination like series and parallel. Then the conclusion will be, the conclusion of this particular experiment, spring constant, is determination of spring constant when they are in series as well as parallel. First we'll write K1 and K2 what we have found, and when they are in series, theoretically by using the formula what we have found 7.7 and we got like 31.05, and experimentally if you are finding the same for the same spring, so we got 7.1 and this is 32. So the values are matching. So this is 7.7, this is 7.1, and this is 31 and this is 32. So theoretically and experimentally they are well agreed. Hence we can say that the force is directly proportional to, the restoring force is directly proportional to displacement, and they are acting in the opposite direction. So that is the conclusion of this experiment. Thank you.